Hi folks, welcome again to the channel. Juan here from Physical Media EU. Today we have a very special review, the Pusher trilogy for first time in 4K. Hello again and thanks for tuning in for another review. In this occasion is the Pusher trilogy that just came out in 4K for first time. But before we start, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, where I do reviews of movie releases and also soundtracks on vinyl. Besides that, you can also find me on Instagram with the same handle, Physical Media EU, where I post detailed pictures of all the items that I review. Now yes, we can begin with the presentation of Pusher in 4K. Let's take a look at the front here. Here a closer look. It has a very intense red, as you can see there, mostly on the side in the video, and here it has like an embossed region, right, or area in the cover that reads Pusher in black letters. Then here is the spine, the back with all the descriptions of the content, and this is written in Danish. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And if we take out the movies, this is by the way, very good quality, very sturdy. Also at the bottom there's some description about the release and languages, regions, and so on. And when we open this up, the first thing we find is this booklet, which has 80 pages. This is a very generous booklet. On the back it just says by Nicolas Winding Refn. So here is the table of contents. And if you couldn't tell yet, like most of the booklet is written in Danish, because these are Danish movies. Nicolas Winding Refn is also Danish. There's only one essay written in English called Pushing Too Hard. So here you can see that it's written in English, but the rest is in Danish. It's quite content heavy. It has several images here and there, but it has a lot of text, so that's very positive. I think I like when these booklets have a lot of insights about the film that are not available in other ways. But then there are some pictures like this of like old items for promotion of the movie, or this one actually not even, right? But there are like matches sets, a wallet, and even this cutout image of Cambodia. And then there is this text about the old Nordic trilogy. It's also all in Danish. This trilogy is included in the set. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then there's also this documentary here called Gambler. Now moving on to the discs. They are all presented in these very slim digipacks, which also on the back say by Nicolas Winding Refn. In this case it's the first Pusher, so only says Pusher on the front. And then if we open them, there you can see it's a 4K disc and a description of the movie. And this is the case for all the other movies. But the important thing to mention here is that all the discs, I mean the 7 discs of this box set, are 4K discs. Here are the digipacks for Pusher 1, 2, and 3. And then there is this Gambler documentary and the trilogy by Paul Nordic, which are Melembena, yeah, Kolger Centralen Villa Veneli, and lastly Stenbroens Helte. Yeah. And one thing I want to mention about this is that one of the criticisms that I heard at the beginning when this box set was announced was the price tag, which ranged between 75 and 85 US dollars depending on whether you pre-order. But the fact that all 7 discs are 4K, I think kind of justifies the price. Especially after the prices we have seen recently in physical media, I don't think this is overpriced. It is a steep price tag, but that's because it's a 7 disc set. And when all the discs are 4K, I think the price in fact is quite reasonable. I think also the set looks amazing, very clean. Let me see if I can get like a good sight for the video. Very clean. The only issue is maybe that it gets fingerprints very easily, but other than that, looks awesome. Very minimalistic with that brightness in the title. So I think it looks great. I think there is some Danish design to it. So I'm of course very happy with this release for several reasons. It's a trilogy that I love. It's a very complete box set. It has an 80 pages booklet, a documentary, and also the Paul Nordic trilogy, which are also some old Danish movies. In addition, regarding the picture quality, I think they have done an amazing job. The restorations of the movie was done by Trust Nordic and Nordic Film Distribution, who used the original 16 millimeters negative that were scanned in 4K. And the result is outstanding, particularly thinking that this comes from 16 millimeter negatives and not 35 like in many other cases. And I'm not aware if there are other releases that they have done in 4K, especially upgrading an old source into 4K. I think the job they did here is amazing. The movies look great, especially the pusher ones. I think the restoration made for the old movies is also very good, but specifically talking about the pusher ones, the three of them look amazing. They have heavy grain, remind me a little bit of maybe how some Criterion releases are like very heavy in the grain that you see on the image, and the picture is very sharp. Of course, these are not particularly colorful movies, so don't expect anything like that, but they are very sharp, and the movies, like honestly, it's such a big upgrade. And in my case, this was an upgrade from the Umbrella Entertainment Blu-rays, which you can see here. This release I have reviewed in the past, so if you want to check it out, the link is here up in the corner. And this graffiti you see on the front, this is actually Nicolas Winding Refn's signature, because around a month ago here in Copenhagen they did the release of the first of the movies in cinema, in Empire Bio. So I was lucky enough to get a ticket for it. I met Nick Refn, as you can see, the picture we got together here, and also got the Pusher Trilogy in Blu-ray signed, and also Drive, as you can see here. This is the standard release from Second Sight Film. Besides that, they were selling some merchandise. I got this t-shirt, says Pusher in Japanese, and as part of the release, they also made a collaboration beer with Mikkeller here, also from Denmark. These beers you can find now in some Mikkeller shops around Copenhagen, so if you hurry, maybe you can still get one. Also, as a physical media enthusiast, I took the opportunity to ask Nicolas Refn about a future release for Neon Demon, which is another movie of him that I really like. I think it's particularly beautiful and stylish. And it's a movie that already has a 4K release, I think from Germany, but it was quite limited. If you find it now on eBay, you will be like astonished of the prices that will go through. But at the same time, it's not a great transfer. For example, it doesn't have HDR, so it doesn't make justice for how the movie was. I trust that if the new release comes through Nicolas Winding Refn team, which run the website bynwr.com, and it's the same team who did this Pusher in 4K trilogy release, we could get a very awesome release for that movie. Now, going back to this release, I want to go over the bonus features that are included, and it's actually not a lot. This is probably like the only weak point of this release. So all the Pusher movies come with an additional commentary audio track, which are different than the extra audio tracks included in the Umbrella release, but that's all the extras that you get with the Pusher discs. The other thing they include is the trailer, but that's all. Now, one of the 7 discs include this documentary called Gambler, which has several parts that were recorded around the times the Pusher films were making, and it's about the issues that Nick Refn found funding his movies. And now, regarding the Paul Nurup trilogy that is included, that's a trilogy from the 60s, and also portrays like dark parts of the society. So it's nice that those are included here, because there might be some connections with Pusher. Now, a key thing to mention here, as I said before, this is a Nordic release. What does that mean? So, as you saw at the beginning, the back of the set is in Danish, the booklet is in Danish, the menus of the disc are in Danish, and the subtitles included are the 4 Nordic languages, Danish, Swedish, Norwegian, and Finnish, and besides that, also English. So that's a key factor. In addition, since these are 4K discs, they are region free. You can use these discs anywhere in the world as long as you have a 4K setup. And since they have English subtitles, if you're comfortable with reading English, because the original language of the movie is Danish, so that's something very important to keep in mind. Now, if you still want to get this release, there are some Danish websites at least where you can find this. I bought this one on imusic.com. I pre-ordered it. I know that people who pre-ordered on coolshop.dk, for example, they've received their set on the release date, while those of us who ordered on imusic.dk got it 2 days after. And at least within Denmark, the free shipping comes at a lower entry price on Coolshop than on iMusic. But the price may vary. So that's something to keep in mind as well. At least iMusic, I know they deliver within Europe. I'm not sure the rest of the world, but at least within Europe, you shouldn't have any problem. Now, one thing that I almost forget to mention is the comparison of the bonus features between this release and the one from Umbrella. The one from Umbrella has different audio commentary tracks, and also they include some featurettes and also making of the movies, which those things are not included in this pusher release. I think being that these new release comes like from the source, this is from the team of Nicolas Winding Refn, I'm really surprised that those extras were not included in the discs. I'm not sure if it might be related of the size of the 4K discs, because like many times, right, the bonus features are not included in the 4K discs, but still something to mention. There is a possibility that those bonus features are on the website by nwr.com, which has a lot of free content. Definitely recommend that website. It's, if you like Nicolas Winding Refn, there's a lot of good content there to consume. With that said, and just to finish, this is an excellent release. I don't give scores to the releases, but if I have to give one score to this one, it would be 9.5, just because of the lack of some bonus features, but all the rest is as good as it gets. So if they keep doing physical releases, I will keep getting them, and you'll find reviews of those in the channel. Nick Refn is one of the directors that I enjoy watching the most these days. I have reviewed in the past, well, not this one, I have the soundtrack for Pusher 2 actually here, and also Copenhagen Cowboy. This one you can find the review in this channel. You can find the link up here in the corner. So I'm gonna keep supporting his and his team's work. Now yes, that's all for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also check on Instagram, there will be detailed pictures of the release. And I would love to hear in the comments if you have watched these movies, which one is your favorite. If you think they have influenced other modern movies, in my opinion, I think they have influenced movies like Snatch and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrel, the two classics by Guy Ritchie, which came out I think in the years 98 and 2000 if I'm not wrong. So at least the first Pusher was out already. Also, do you like other Nick Refn films or series? I think he has a lot of material that is worth checking out. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all at Okie Dokes.